Yes, the US Patent Office really approved an anti-eating face mask. A cage that locks over your face and doubles as a Hannibal Lecter or Sub-Zero cosplay. Let's see who this was made for, how it worked, and if you could lock it. Now imagine you own an Italian restaurant. There's stiff competition because, well, you're in Naples. And your neighbor downstairs? Olive Garden. So profit margins are thinner than a Napoli pizza run over by a Vespa. One day, you're doing inventory, you notice you bought 12 cans of pineapple, you've only sold 6 pizza Hawaii. So you check the CCTV and there he is, frame by frame. Fultenzio. Half sous chef, half red-eyed toddler with munchies. He's eating parmesan by the brick and chasing it with carbonara sauce. What a sick and twisted man. You confront him, but he denies the allegations. So you slap the anti-eating face mask on him. At least now your calzone won't be garnished with Fulgenzio's second lower molar. At least that's what the patent author must have had in mind when he wrote that it was designed for people exposed to food constantly, such as chefs, cooks, and restaurant personnel. Just imagine sitting down at a sushi bar and this guy is handling the chef's knife. But the inventor also saw a market in housewives with the constant temptation to nibble on the food being prepared, and where it is necessary that the food be tasted during preparation, which stimulates appetite for larger quantities of food. I'm sure the patent author would have faced backlash nowadays, because strapping masks onto women is a historically sensitive topic. The so-called Scold's Bridle was a gag mask used to silence women whose nagging was, to quote, a source of annoyance to family or the entire neighborhood. Now let's check out the design. So the gaps between the wires are about 1/2 inch wide and are big enough to breathe, speak, and sample food, but too small for a sandwich. But if you angle it just right, you might still sneak in a spaghetti strand or a lonely skittle. And now let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, it comes with a padlock. Just don't lose the key. So in essence, the mask is like limiting your credit card to avoid you from making bad, impulsive decisions. And honestly, this invention was timed perfectly. The patent was filed in 1980, just 3 years after a US Senate report revealed that the best way to fight fat? Just stop being fat. Which of course sent the country into a panic about waistlines and cholesterol. The 1980s became the golden age of diet culture. Diet Pepsi in your cup holder, lean cuisine in your freezer, and chain Fonda in your VCR. So in theory, this mask should have been a home run at the time. And yet it failed. Here's why. First, there's the boomerang effect. Wearing a locked cage on your face would probably make you more obsessed with food, not less. That's called psychological reactance. The second you tell someone, don't eat this, their brain turns into a toddler screaming, but now I want it. In one study, people were told not to think about chocolate, and those people ended up eating more chocolate than anyone else. But credit where credit is due, barriers can stop mindless snacking. Like when you wear an FFP2 mask, you can't just grab that free cookie at the bank without first taking off your mask, which forces you to think, do I really need this or am I just bored? And let's be honest, strapping those onto your restaurant staff isn't just ineffective, it's downright dehumanizing. That's not workplace wellness, that's Exhibit A in a class action lawsuit. So, unsurprisingly, the anti-eating face mask faded into total obscurity. The patent expired and it was never manufactured, marketed, or taken seriously by doctors.